Alright, that's my last thumbnail. It wouldn't be proper to not talk about McGregor before I get my day started. No, before I close out the videos for today. Alright, look. I think it would be safe to say that real recognize real. And people like Uriah Faber, people like Michael Chandler, people even like Khabib Nurmagomedov, actually. Nobody will tell you, no true fighter can honestly tell you that Conor McGregor isn't one of the greatest to ever do it. Ever. Greatest to ever do it. Solely from a fighting standpoint. If you take away every press conference that Conor McGregor's ever had, which, you know, that probably has a lot to do with some of the fights as well. So I don't know if we could even really have this hypothetical, but Conor McGregor is one of the baddest dudes to ever step foot in the octagon. Period. And like I said, people like Uriah Faber recognize that. People like Michael Chandler recognize that. People like Khabib Nurmagomedov recognized that. That's why he shot within the first 15 seconds. Conor will tell you the Dagestani shot in 15 seconds. I think Dustin Poirier, he said, shot in like the first 30 seconds. The Dagestani shot in 15. But let me explain to you just why Conor McGregor is forever certified as one of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. And this is gonna get a little weird, all right? Just because, you know, Chad Mendes. I say it's gonna get a little weird because when you talk about, you know, when you have somebody who's in the NFL or some shit, I don't know, man, like, and you look at Chad Mendes, a lot of people, you know, Chad Mendes might be unassuming because of how small he is or whatever, like, but here's one thing for sure, is I'll almost guarantee, I'll put fucking my life's earning on all of these people talking shit about like, oh, Chad Mendes was a midget or whatever, right? I can almost guarantee none of those people would fight Chad Mendes. Off of the couch that Chad Mendes got up off of to fight Conor McGregor, right? That's like the thing, that Chad was out of shape and got off the couch or whatever. I can guarantee you who was watching this video wouldn't fight Chad Mendes at a bar tomorrow, and Chad Mendes hasn't been training for a fight in over a fucking year and a half. And I'll guarantee he whoops your ass too. I'll almost guarantee that. So the thing that was so special about Conor fighting Chad Mendes, there's a couple things, right? Now, my timeline might be off a little bit here, but it doesn't really matter all that much. It would be nice for the narrative, but I think when Chad Mendes took the fight on short notice, Conor was supposed to fight Aldo. Actually, I'm almost certain of it now. And then the Nate Diaz fight came from the backing out of Rafael Dos Anjos. Y'all gotta understand, I'm just a G with this shit. I just kind of pulled that out of my ass. If that's true, I'm a fucking G. Because that was even kind of right before I really got into the UFC. To the point where, like, I only watched the highlights of, I ended up watching the full fight, but like, I wasn't a big fan of the UFC at that time when Conor fought Chad Mendes. I came about Conor, Nate Diaz 2 is when I became like a diehard fan, I think, around that time is what I'm saying. Not that fight specifically made me a big fan, but like around that time, something I just like fully immersed into it. Here's some perspective. I was such not a fan of the UFC, like, not because I was a hater or anything, it wasn't my thing yet. When Daniel Cormier fought Anthony Rumble Johnson, I turned down the opportunity to go see that live because I'm a fucking stupid motherfucker. And so when Conor fought Chad Mendes, that was a short notice fight for Chad Mendes because Jose Aldo dropped out of that fight. And Conor, this is a famous story told by Dana White, Conor, before leaving the room to go train, Dana White and a couple other, you know, maybe like Hunter Thompson, is that his name? Hunter and Sean Shelby might have been in the room. They were like, yo, we're trying to find you a fight. What do you think about this person? Conor said, I don't care who you find. I'm going to train. Call me when you got somebody. And they came up with Chad Mendes. Now, to McGregor at the time, you know, he probably thought he could. He did think the #2 rollie in the game. He probably legitimately might have thought that he could beat John Jones at that time, just because he was on such a heavy momentum swing that there's a beautiful girl walking in front of me. That he's like Max Holloway. He's like, DC, I'm the daddest man on. You know, we gotta talk about Max Holloway too. Let me get this out though. All right, in that fight, Conor McGregor demonstrated pure heart, because there was a point in time where Chad, the wrestler of the entire game, took Conor down, had a dominant position on Conor. Conor had Chad, I think, in full guard, but still Chad was in top position, just throwing heavy elbows. Conor's eating them like the Irish fucking gorilla that he is, man. I fucking love Conor McGregor, dude. I love Chad Mendes too. I love Uriah Hall, man. I love all these fucking fighters, but Conor gets up. And you know who pointed this out was on the Rogan podcast was actually Jim Brewer was at that fight live, and he's like, dude, I saw it in Chad Mendes's eyes when Conor stood up that it was over. The second Conor stood up, any of the momentum that Chad had left was gone, because in moments like that of complete adversity, there are people who continue to press forward and there's people who fold, man. And a lot of people have a lot of shit to say about Conor, but you're wrong. When you look at how Conor handled the Nate Diaz 1 and 2, that is a testament of who that man is as a person. Sometimes you get bested. That's life, dude. Sometimes life kicks you in the teeth and there's nothing you can do about it. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor won. Mismanaged his energy, thought he was gonna knock Nate Diaz out. That's another. Conor's a crazy motherfucker. Nate Diaz, the dude who's never been knocked out. Conor's like, I'm gonna go spark this dude in fucking the first 2 minutes, bro. And so he goes in, blows his load, expends all of his energy, gets winded, gets choked out, man. That shit happens. But what does he do, yo? Immediately accepts a rematch at the same fucking weight, goes in there for fucking 25 minutes and beats the shit out of Nate. Nate beat the shit out of him too. They beat the shit out of each other. Conor McGregor is one of the greatest fighters to ever do it. Period. Period. To look at what Jose Aldo's still doing now, Jose Aldo is not Cowboy Cerrone. They are not the same age, even though they probably have the same mileage on them. And so to see what Jose Aldo is still doing now, and to know what Conor did to him then, and even Conor said himself, like, I think, you know, I would love to run it back with Jose because I think he deserved a little bit more than that, like, than to get sparked in fucking 15 seconds. But I'm trying to tell you, y'all are so fucking stupid, bro. A lot of these casuals, and I'm with y'all. Some of these times I get fooled too. Fool them, devil. Fool them. I get fooled too sometimes, where I'm like, you know, you just get fooled sometimes. And the Chad Mendes fight, and then the Nate Diaz 2, and even Dustin Poirier too. Look, dude, if the dude didn't Chad, and the Mayweather, I want to touch on the Mayweather fight too. People say like Conor got winded, whatever. Conor got winded in the Nate Diaz 2 fight as well, probably in like the 3rd round. And he talks about it, and it's, for him specifically, it's just something he has to push through to gain his second wind. And I think actually that probably happens to everybody, but it's like, so it's same thing with the Mayweather fight. Had the referee not called that fight, Conor might not have dropped to one knee. He might have stood up, just took that ass whooping for the rest of the round, came back after that round ended, came back off of the bench, maybe a little bit more refreshed, caught a second win, and could have fucking went and put it on Mayweather a little bit. Not saying he's gonna beat him, because you know I gotta ride with my man Mayweather as the greatest boxer of all time. That was a super hard one for me. Like, I was getting pulled in both directions that fight. But and then you take the Dustin Poirier 2 fight, where it's like, dude, look at how he fucking walked into that fight. Look at how, I think he ends up tagging Dustin in like the first round, hard as fuck, dude. And Dustin retaliates with a flurry of fucking punches, and Conor kind of like, he's eating them for like a half a second of like accepting that he's about to eat these punches, but makes the decision in that moment. I'll fucking find the clip and I'll put it in this video, but that makes the decision in that moment to fucking swing back. And that type of shit will make me start crying right now, because that is the human spirit. There are people that accept defeat and curl up in a ball and just allow fucking death to take place, and then there are people who fucking bite down on their mouthpiece and swing back. And that's who Conor McGregor is. And a lot of y'all confused yourselves with this narrative of he's a fucking, oh, he's washed up, he's got too much money, blah blah blah. Y'all do not have you guys have blurry vision. You know, you don't have clear eyes when you're watching some of these fights, because even in that, look man, Dustin was putting it on Conor in that second fight, but Conor put it on Dustin too, okay? And those fucking, when he coming out with the way that he was throwing his fucking legs, dude, the dude is an absolute complete barbaric savage, bro, and there's not a single person on the planet that could argue otherwise. Because this fucking dude is battle tested, true, tried. You know, he's the real fucking deal. And I'm gonna end it with this. I just want to extremely clarify that none of you would fight Chad Mendes right now. The dude might not even have been in the gym for the past 2.5 months. None of you guys would fight Chad Mendes right now. And if you did, he'd beat the shit out of you, okay? Conor McGregor is the real fucking deal. Conor McGregor will fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. Let's take Khabib, for example. Conor didn't fight Khabib because that's one of the biggest fights ever, bro. Even though that's one of the reasons why he fought Khabib. Conor fought Khabib Nurmagomedov because Conor McGregor will fuck anybody up, anywhere, anytime. Just like me. He's delusional. I'm like, yo, I'll beat the shit out of you, right? And then you'll end up beating the shit out of me. And right after, immediately after you whoop my ass, I'm gonna stand back up on my 2 feet. I'm gonna look you in the eyes and I'm gonna say, you did what? You whooped whose ass? Man, I'll slap the shit out of you. Come over here. After you just beat the shit out of me, I'm telling y'all, slap the shit out of you, bro. I'll fuck you up right now, bro. Conor McGregor's the same dude, bro. So, say what you want, but you're wrong.